In the end, you can't always choose what to keep. You can only choose how you let it go. You've never lived what you are thinking, and that isn't good. Only the ideas we actually live are of any value.
Do not look for healing at the feet of those who broke you.
All human beings should try to learn before they die what they are running from, and to, and why. It's a slow process, but quitting won't speed it up. We fool ourselves so much we could do it for a living. It is not that I am mad. It is only that my head is different from yours.
Speak to me. I will spend my lifetime trying to understand you. Hearing voices no one else can hear isn't a good sign, even in the wizarding world.
One must work and dare if one really wants to live. If everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow. I hear my silence talked of in every lane. The suppression of a cry is itself a cry of pain. All warfare is based on deception. There is no place where espionage is not used. Offer the enemy bait to lure him.
Overconfidence blows out the risk. Inferiority magnifies it. Do not take life too seriously. You will never get out of it alive.
After you find out all the things that can go wrong, your life becomes less about living and more about waiting. There's no such thing as ruining your life. Life's a pretty resilient thing, it turns out.
Success usually comes to those who are too busy looking for it.
Somebody has to start. Somebody has to step forward and do what is right, because it is right.
You endure what is unbearable, and you bear it. That is all. Adversity discourages losers. Adversity inspires winners. Success involves going to where others believe is too far. In the midst of darkness, he alone sees the dawn. In the midst of the soundless, he alone hears harmony.
The reason why the universe is eternal is that it does not live for itself. It gives life to others as it transforms.
If you believe very strongly in something, stand up and fight for it. Kendati batasantara kebepasan, dan ketidak pedulian terkadang saru.
Wisdom is having things right in your life and knowing why. You'll never find a rainbow if you're looking down.
Realize deeply that the present moment is all you will ever have. It's good to do uncomfortable things. It's weight training for life.
Interconnection permeates the entire universe. We are all one. The laughter of the world is merely loneliness, pathetically trying to reassure itself. You can never cross the ocean until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. Ah, nothing is too late, till the tired heart shall cease to palpitate. There is only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: the fear of failure. You couldn't erase everything that caused you pain with recollection. Every memory was valuable, even the bad ones. Life is about accepting the challenges along the way, choosing to keep moving forward, and savoring the journey. If you feel obsessed to prove something to the world, then you need world attention to be able to prove it.
Do good. Live in the most positive and joyful way possible every day. People throw stones at you, and you convert them into milestones.
Guilt is a feeling that you owe a debt that you're not paying. It's time to start living the life you've imagined. Fear is temporary, regret is forever. Inspiration is like perspiration. It tends to strike at the most inopportune of time. We have not been rewarded to evolve over our failures, but punished never to make mistakes again.
Knowledge is a treasure, but practice is the key to it.
There is no greatness where there is not simplicity, goodness, and truth. The test of success is not what you do when you are on top. Success is how high you bounce when you hit the bottom.
Most of what I say is complete truth. My edit button is broken. It is better to live one day as a lion than 100 years as a sheep. History, Stephen said, is a nightmare from which I am trying to awake. If I have a platform and a voice, I should use it for my people.
Too many people spend money they haven't earned, to buy things they don't want, to impress people that they don't like.
You don't put your life into your books. You find it there.
Good ideas stay with you until you eventually write the story.
Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood.
Go after what you want in life. Don't just talk about it. Take a step, run.
If you know both yourself and your enemy, you can win 100 battles without a single loss.
He who cannot obey himself will be commanded. That is the nature of living creatures. He's not your Prince Charming if he doesn't make sure you know that you're his princess. I think that you've got to make something that pleases you and hope that other people feel the same way.
It is the certainty that they possess the truth that makes men cruel.
Emotion often outwits intelligence, while intuition renders life surprisingly fluent and enjoyable. Focus on improving yourself, not proving yourself. To be the best, you must be able to handle the worst. No man can be a failure if he thinks he's a success. If he thinks he is a winner, then he is.
The scholar does not consider gold and jade to be precious treasures, but loyalty and good faith.
By helping others, we expand our joy and fly like we were born to do so. As if you could kill time without injuring eternity. I am afraid, not of life or death or nothingness, but of wasting it as if I had never been. We could never learn to be brave and patient if there were only joy in the world. Do not seek to follow in the footsteps of the wise. Seek what they sought.
Choose to correct your mistakes, rather than comparing it to others.
With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. Don't wake me for the end of the world unless it has very good special effects. Do your best and trust the process. The power of empowerment can change the world, one person at a time. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives.
Hold faithfulness and sincerity as first principles. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted.
Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. To be prepared against surprise is to be trained. To be prepared for surprise is to be educated. If you don't learn to laugh at life, it'll surely kill you, that I know.
Life happens, shit happens, and it happens a lot, to a lot of people.
Don't leave a piece of jewelry at his house so you can go back and get it later. He may be with his real girlfriend.
No other success can compensate for failure in the home.
Create a vision for the life you really want and then work relentlessly towards making it a reality. Your heart is a powerful force. Use it consciously. Music produces a kind of pleasure which human nature cannot do without. Admit when you're wrong. Shut up when you're right. People soon get tired of things that aren't boring, but not of what is boring. Truly, It is in the darkness that one finds a light. Dead yesterdays and unborn tomorrows, why fret about it, if today be sweet? There is only one kind of shock worse than the totally unexpected, the expected, for which one has refused to prepare. Watch for the thing that will show itself to you, because that thing, when you find it, will be your future. No amount of regretting can change the past, and no amount of worrying can change the future. You cannot teach a man anything. You can only help him find it within himself.
The language of light can only be decoded by the heart.
Don't pretend to be better than you are. Live life at your own pace. Success is knowing your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximum potential, and sowing seeds that benefit others. Losing your life is not the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing is to lose your reason for living. One day you'll see why God made you wait.
Let your mind wander in the pure and simple. Be one with the infinite. Let all things take their course.
I am the truth, since I am part of what is real, but neither more nor less than those around me.
If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. It's what's in yourself that makes you happy or unhappy. Don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life.
Success and failures are always very near to each other. Each can turn into the other very quickly.
The most important thing about a technology is how it changes people.
Choose your steps wisely, because your footprints may be followed by others. You only get one life. Live it to the fullest. All your miseries will be forgiven when you will be dead. When the pain of staying is greater than the pain of leaving, you know it's time to make a change. Decide how badly you want it, then proceed accordingly. You are all the colors in one, at full brightness.
When we're connected to others, we become better people. Cleverness isn't always true, nor is the truth always clever.
You can't change the wind, but you can set your sails. In all debates, let truth be thy aim, not victory or an unjust interest. Divide your success in small pieces. Easy to manage failure, easy to achieve success. Don't panic. It's normal to get lost every once in a while. Caught up in a whirlwind, sometimes winds too get lost.
Sometimes your only available transportation is a leap of faith. You can't be brave if you've only had wonderful things happen to you.
Never to suffer would never to have been blessed. Men will not accept truth at the hands of their enemies, and truth is seldom offered to them by their friends. An empowered life begins with serious personal questions about oneself. Those answers bear the seeds of success.
The longer we dwell on our misfortunes, the greater is their power to harm us. I wouldn't have missed a single minute of it, not for the whole world.
Always bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any one thing. To have what you have never had, you have to do what you have never done.
The mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master.
There is no problem more difficult to solve than that created by ourselves. Sacrifice is a part of life. It's supposed to be. It's not something to regret, it's something to aspire to. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. It is an ironic habit of human beings to run faster when they have lost their way. The best fiction is far more true than any journalism. People make mistakes in life through believing too much, but they have a damn dull time if they believe too little. Nobody is wired wrong. because there's no wrong and right in the way we are. All the work you are doing in silence is opening doors. Trust your pace.
Humanity must forgive humanity, for only then can we be humane.
Whoever said that the past isn't dead had it backward. It's the future that's already dead, already played out. Just because people run after you doesn't mean they can't stay away from you. Don't take anyone for granted.
Be willing to leave the ground behind if you want to fly. I could die for you, but I couldn't and wouldn't live for you.
Don't let procrastination take over your life. Be brave and take risks. Your life is happening right now. Courage is living by the free will that one creates for themselves, not the life of monotony determined by another.
Invincibility depends on oneself, the enemy's vulnerability on him.
Successful people enjoy the journeys they embark on, irrespective of whether they reach their destination or not. Perception was easily accomplished, required little effort, and it never had to stand the test of reality.
The enlightened ruler is heedful, and the good general full of caution.
Be the person that will take the first step towards personal success. You will be remembered for.
Slowing down was how we remembered what we never wanted to forget.
The decision is your own voice. An opinion is the echo of someone else's voice. The purpose of literature is to turn blood into ink. Be proud. You survived the days you thought you couldn't.
A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still.
The truth is found when men are free to pursue it.
Challenges in life can either enrich you or poison you. You are the one who decides. Sometimes the questions are complicated and the answers are simple.
The thorns we endure in life are but shadowed by the precious petals of a rosy outlook.
You get what you focus on, so focus on what you want.
Weak people revenge, strong people forgive, intelligent people ignore. Death is the easy part. The hard part is living and knowing you could be so much more than you're willing to be. An ability to look into the confusing mess of life and see things for what they are. History is idle gossip about a happening whose truth is lost the instant it has taken place. First it hurts, then it makes you stronger.
A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks should be.
Some choose to influence change, and some choose to be influenced by change. You choose which one are you. Because even though the truth can set you free, that doesn't mean it won't be painful.
In warfare, there are no constant conditions. He who can modify his tactics in relation to his opponent will succeed and win.
It takes a lot of courage to show your dreams to someone else. Nothing is built on stone, all is built on sand, but we must build as if the sand were stone. Receiving is good, but giving is much better. Nevertheless, sharing is the best. Just remember, the difference between being good versus being great is just a few points, inches, or seconds. The thing about lying to your parents is, you have to do it to protect them. It's for their own good.
Make your lives a masterpiece. You only get one canvas. To be alone is to be different. To be different is to be alone.
The more you try to please people, the more they get control of you, and you'll end up hurting yourself.
The world changes. We do not. Therein lies the irony that kills us.
If you are out to describe the truth, leave elegance to the tailor. You might have had to deal with many disappointments in life, but don't doubt the possibility of success. Brilliance is impossible without a touch of insanity. Those who are wise won't be busy, and those who are too busy can't be wise.
Travel light, live light, spread the light, be the light.
We can regard our life as a uselessly disturbing episode in the blissful repose of nothingness.
Vote for the man who promises least. He'll be the least disappointing. When envoys are sent with compliments in their mouths, it is a sign that the enemy wishes for a truce. We cannot do everything at once, but we can do something at once.
When you have eliminated all which is impossible, then whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
Don't depend too much on anyone in this world, because even your own shadow leaves you when you are in darkness. Where you are in a few months depends on what you do today.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Then quit. No use being a damn fool about it. Being happy doesn't mean that everything is perfect. It means that you've decided to look beyond the imperfections. A loving soul was always more beautiful over the long haul, but actual prettiness was fleeting. If people make fun of you, that probably means you're doing something right.
Everything in life is speaking in spite of its apparent silence. A human being is part of a whole called by us the universe.
I want to keep my dreams, even bad ones, because without them I might have nothing all night long. Arrival in the world is really a departure, and that which we call departure is only a return. People only lie because they are afraid of the truth. When you connect to the silence within you, that is when you can make sense of the disturbance going on around you. The joy in life is his who has the heart to demand it.
I cried because I had no shoes until I met a man who had no feet.
You must be the change you wish to see in the world. The calling of an author is more than just to entertain, but also to share one's experiences with the world.
Without local guides, your enemy employs the land as a weapon against you. I think there is only one quality worse than hardness of heart, then that is softness of head. If I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. Nothing truly valuable arises from ambition or from a mere sense of duty. It stems rather from love and devotion towards men and towards objective things.
It should not matter, of course, that I could be crazy, because as luck would have it, fortune favors me.
The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing.
Nobody made a greater mistake than he who did nothing, because he could do only a little.
I'm a greater believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it.
Success is what happens after you've survived all your mistakes. If you're reading this, congratulations, you're alive. If that's not something to smile about, then I don't know what is. When you are present in gratitude, you can't be anywhere else. Price of peace could only be valued by people who had suffered loss in the war.
Home is where somebody notices when you are no longer there.
Life always begins with one step outside of your comfort zone. To capture an enemy's army is better than to destroy it.
Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished.
You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger.
Life is all about becoming a better version of yourself.
The world is merciless, and it's also very beautiful. Every adversity, Every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit.
I have given my word that only death will take me from you.
There are no bad words, bad thoughts, bad intentions, and words. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth.
You grow mentally weak when your life is too comfortable.
There's a fire against us, and in the end, the fire could burn us or ignite us into an unstoppable force. Acquiring wisdom is great, but it is not the goal. Applying it is. Do it alone, do it broke, do it tired, do it scared, just do it.
To know that we know what we know, and that we do not know what we do not know, that is true knowledge. No one else has ever opened doors for me. I opened them myself.
After all, a homeless man has reason to cry. Everything in the world is pointed against him. In the midst of difficulties, we are always ready to seize an advantage. We may extricate ourselves from misfortune.
Take care of your body, then the rest will automatically become stronger.
Swords can win territories but not hearts. Forces can bend heads but not minds. Amidst a crowd of friends, a search for truth begins. Find the few who stand by through thick and thin. It's the people who never learn the word impossible, make history, because they're the ones who keep trying. Free your mind from routine, keep your brain somewhere else. Nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make a new ending. A dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together is reality.
A real scientist solves problems, not wails that they are unsolvable.
We will all pass through a sorrowful stage in life. When it's your turn, don't let the storm sweep you away.
Your highest thoughts sometimes arise in your lowest moments. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. The elegance under pressure is the result of fearlessness. Forget injuries, never forget kindnesses. We don't have to defeat any individual but our own self. Many things that don't really mean so much of anything are wonderful. The true vocation of man is to find his way for himself.
Building a successful life requires effort. The more effort you put into what you do, the more result you would see. I keep telling my students to never give up chasing your dreams. And I, too, will never give up chasing my dreams. There may be times when we are powerless to prevent injustice, but there must never be a time when we fail to protest.
The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. It is the fundamental emotion that stands at the cradle of true art and true science. Show me that I am everywhere, and get me home for tea.
We have to know the truth about the past to discover our future. Even as your body betrays you, your mind denies it. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom.
What cannot be said, above all, must not be silenced, but written.
You have been blessed with immeasurable power to make positive changes in your life. Sometimes when things are falling apart, they may actually be falling into place. Only you can take inner freedom away from yourself or give it to yourself. Nobody else can.
Of all those in the army close to the commander, none is more intimate than the secret agent.
Gotta get out of the basement. I've got to see the world. I've got to make a difference.
Know what you want, work to get it, then value it once you have it.
Challenge and adversity are meant to help you know who you are. Storms hit your weakness, but unlock your true strength. Well, it's hard to be yourself. It's the hardest job there is. Sometimes bad things have to happen before good things can.
Great things are done by a series of small things brought together.
This is how the entire course of a life can be changed, by doing nothing. What good is the warmth of summer without the cold of winter to give it sweetness? Better to die fighting for freedom than be a prisoner all the days of your life. No, that is the great fallacy, the wisdom of old men. They do not grow wise, they grow careful. If your absence doesn't affect them, your presence never mattered.
All men know the utility of useful things, but they do not know the utility of utility. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales.
The worst thing he told me is bitterness. People end up so bitter.
If you only shine light on your flaws, all your perfects will dim. The truth is not always beautiful, nor beautiful words the truth.